Hi, it's Nate from Sherper's here. Today I wanted to take you guys through some Baffin boots that we've got here. So Baffin is one of our favorite brands for winter boots. They're by far the warmest boots that we have, and just wanted to talk through some of the different styles and some of the technology that Baffin offers. So when anybody comes in and asks what our warmest boot is, we take them to Baffin, and we usually take them to the Baffin Eiger, which is the one that I'm going to be talking about mostly, and then kind of talk about the differences of some of the other ones. So what makes Baffin so warm is what they put in the inside of the boot. So I'm going to kind of dissect the boot for you and kind of talk through those different things. So all of Baffin boots are going to be a pack boot, which means you get the traditional liner that you've seen in boots for many years. One of the things that Baffin does with the liner is they've got a little bit nicer liner than some of the other companies do. And the technology that goes into here to be able to wick some of the sweat and perspiration away and put it into some of the channels of this liner to keep your feet dry are really nice and really important, because wet feet equals cold feet. Another one of the things that they do is it's not just the liner that provides the insulation. They do rubber and EVA and a lot of insulation in between the actual sole of the shoe and where your foot is. And just like why you wear a hat in the winter time, because all of the heat escapes from your head, you also lose a lot of heat from the bottom of your foot. And a lot of times when you get cold feet, cold toes, it's because the company that's making the boots is kind of skimping on the insulation down here, where they may be putting in a lot of insulation here. And Baffin does not do that. So you get a huge thick portion of insulation down there. And then you also get two more liners that really help that they put in the bottom. So you get a reflective layer here, which helps reflect some of the heat back up to you. And then they also do this honeycomb layer here that traps more air and insulation down there. So even after all the EVA and rubber insulation that they don't have at the bottom of the boot, you get this to kind of make that little air pocket. And air is one of the best insulators. That's why you see in jackets, they do a lot of down and things that basically can collect that air and help make that air warm. So that's the Baffin Eiger. We've got those right now at $189. And that's kind of what we tell people is always the warmest boot. For the female equivalent, we've got the Icefield. So it's pretty much the same boot as the Eiger, just in a female version. One of the nice things Baffin does too is with their female boots, they've got some nice looking boots, but it's always function over fashion for them. I think in the world of women's boots, a lot of times you don't find a lot of warm boots, but Baffin definitely makes them warm for men and women. So these boots are actually rated down to negative 148 Fahrenheit. And that's just kind of a rating system that Baffin uses and a lot of other companies use. It's not necessarily that your feet are going to be warm down to a negative 148, but that's kind of the highest end of the spectrum. I've got a pair of Baffin boots last year when it was negative 20 outside, shoveling the driveway, had no problem, very warm feet. So just from personal experience, you know, one of the best boots on the market. Another boot that we brought in this year that is the same rating as the Eiger and the Icefield is the Apex. So it's going to be very similar to the Eiger, except it's got an all leather outside and just kind of a nicer, cooler design. It's got all the same innards as the Eiger, and this right now we've got for $199. And then another boot that I wanted to show you guys that's not quite as warm as these, it's the next step down, but it's a very popular boot for us, is going to be the Titan. So the Titan's got all the same innards that you see. It's just not quite as much insulation at the bottom of the boot, which you can kind of see here. And then around the sides of the boot, not quite as much insulation there. So this one is their second highest rating, not quite to the negative 148. But what makes this boot really popular is it's a full rubber exterior on the boot. So just in terms of being able to wash it off, especially if you're on the farm, doing anything in mud, anything where you want just something that's really easy to clean, the Baffin Titan ends up being a really nice boot, and we've got those at $119. So we've got these all available in all 3 of our store locations, as well as online at sherpers.com, and a bunch more information on them up there.